Hello. So welcome everybody. I would like to thank all those who have just joined our show today. Let me say Happy International Youth Day for all the youth around the world who are a great responder on the front line everywhere, and they have been responsive for all the current crises that the world is going through right now, either from the COVID-19, climate change, refugee crisis, and the political change that is taking place worldwide. So today's session is going to be different and it's more interactive. I'm not going to have a guest on the studio. But what I'm thinking to do, I have two messages on behalf of the youth I wanna deliver for youth in the continent, in Africa, and youth worldwide, because I work with youth all as well, and we are the majority of the population worldwide. So this next session is going to be open for the audience to interact. Whenever who is interested to talk and send their message, please let me know. Do let me know. So then you can enter to the studio. I can let you in, and then you can talk on behalf of the youth and send your message to the world. So you can comment in the session below, so I can read your comment and see who would like to join today's show. So let us start. Africa, like Youth Day, the 12th of August. Each year we celebrate the Youth Day. Africa is always in my heart and in my mind, so that's why I keep repeating it. International Youth Day was there, like this year 2020. We have been through a lot of crises. So let me start by saying that it's the day that we send our voices, actions, and initiative as youth. And also we come with the universal actions that we take, and we are a great responder on the front line every day. Youth have been a great responder during COVID-19, during the current climate change that's taking place worldwide, and also on the recently the changing of political system and the current incidents that are taking place worldwide. So I believe that we still have a lot to do, and we still have many things to deliver as youth. We must ensure that we work on achieving the Agenda 2030 by the United Nations, the Sustainable Development Goal. And it have been there before, even youth have been working on it, doing that advocacy work even before it came as a general mandate by the United Nations. We have the Agenda 2036, which it's a long way, and it's going to take longer for us to achieve. And I don't think that we as a generation are going to get out of it now. Maybe the upcoming generation, because we are almost going to be on our 80s by that time, 36. So yeah, but we are also great there because we are working for the upcoming generation, and we want to be part of the change that we want to see there. We have the reliable resources that is there for us as youth. We're supposed to use it to get what we want, to build an institution that we want, an institution where we want to see ourselves in and be part of that decision making, because these current systems are not working for us perfectly. And a lot of us have been out of the system because the dominations of most of these positions are there by the elder generation. So what we must ensure in it, that we must work on achieving the change that we want to see ourselves in. And we also, at the same time, we have to work in our leaders, the way that is working for us. As we came out with the interaction dialogue to see how we want get it done. But if it doesn't work that way, we assume we have other way that we can make it work. And then the current political system, the current socio-economic system that have been there for a long time, and that doesn't serve us as the youth population, it has to change. And the change will start by us, by leading it, by fight for it. It's our right to get it. Yeah, so this is what it is basically. And at the same time, because we are working also with the leaders who are currently on the political system, they should also ensure that they give us right to have us represented in these positions, in these political positions, in decision making, and achieve the agenda that is best to help us develop ourselves as young leaders. This is most of the most important things that I see as myself that we should be working on. And again, happy International Youth Day 2020. I'm waiting for whenever who is ready to join me right now. In the African continent, Africa is a great place for me, and it's where my heart belongs to. And I do a lot of work with youth who are in the diaspora in the continent. So we are doing I'm doing this kind of advocacy, of exchange of experts between the youth who are in the diaspora and the others who are back in the continent. I don't have much actually to talk about it in that context. I do have most of the recent topic that is important to me, and I think that we need to talk about it, because 75% also from the African youth are from the younger generation, and there have been also a great responder on the front line there during COVID, this political change climate that is taking place right now in Mali, Burkina Faso, Sudan, Ethiopia, and then we have Zimbabwe, and the Gambia. So there is youth revolutions that have taken place on these places as well, and they're we are raising our voice day by day. So I'm also sending a collaboration, like I'm just to add my voice to those youth. Like we are there, we are supporting them, we are leading with them, and it's the most important second thing that is going to be on the continent to serve our younger generation in the upcoming 5 years also is the African Continental Free Trade Area. It's most of the recent topic that I like to talk about, because it's a new change, it's a new opportunity for us as the younger generation of youth in the continent. Let me go back and say in April 2018, where our African head of state has signed the free trade area, the African Continental Free Trade Area. And in June 2020, finally the French Parliament has stopped the West African countries from depositing their money to the French banks. This is also is a great thing to start with. And then we can go back to the Berlin Conference in 1884, and we have a lot of the laws, a lot of regulation that limited the continent and limited especially the younger generation of youth from moving forward, from getting out internationally with our made use from other countries or other in the continent itself, because it is hard for us to get that social and cultural integration. At the same time, we were limiting ourselves in most of the products that we are using, everything that is coming from outside. And we are in a step to change that as well through the different civic activism that we are doing, these revolutions, the movements that are taking place right now in the different countries. They're also working in the same message. So the great thanks to our leader in 1963, who they gathered in Addis Ababa and formed the Organization of African Unity. By talking about the continental free trade area, we are liberating ourselves in what was limiting us as CEOs, either from our colonial, our political head of states who have been in the power for a longer time. We are moving from that spot through the globalization and then the change that is taking place in the 21st century. Let me start by talking about socially and culturally. Culturally and socially, this agreement will mean for us a lot. We are going to integrate with the youth population from different countries, and socially, culturally, so we know each other, we become more friendly to each other, so that we can break the barriers that we have been holding ourselves for a longer time. For example, someone from Kenya can travel to Nigeria, or someone from Ethiopia can travel to South Sudan without any regulations, without visa, without they can cross the border in the easiest way and with a travel document. That is things, the cultural integration that is going to change the dynamic of the younger generation of youth in the continent. And also the second thing, we're talking about the changing on the finance infrastructure, open a new market for entrepreneur, doing this kind of mainstream entrepreneurship, using the skills, the youth that are qualified in these different countries to work in different places. And at the same time, also they can be a design for a work in the financial model across the continent, because I know that some countries have different financial models. If you take, for example, Nigeria and Ghana, they work in different financial models. So this is what we as youth also want to be part of the upcoming movement, the financial movement that will take place in the continent. And politically, we need that kind of exchange program, that kind of leadership trainings within the continent itself, because right now most of the program exchange that is taking place globally, and it designs also, most of it designed for youth who are from Africa, either it's west or east, but it has different it has their own agenda, mission, and vision. So the easiest way that there will be some leadership program training, exchange program that will take place in the continent. This is what we hope to see ourselves in. I would like to remind you, this is how it looked for me like. So we'll see ourselves part of this leadership training that is going to benefit us, design at the same, use the reliable resources that is available there to be part of the decision making, and build the institution that we want, have our voices in the institution that we want to see ourselves in. Let me move to another sector, maybe technology, because it's the 21st century and everyone is using the technology. And we have almost like 35% on the continent, reliable technology and the internet for the use in the continent. And women are mostly the most affected populations for getting resources to use the technology and devices. In terms of technology, we talk about the digital entrepreneur, the good services that it should be people should receive in the continent in terms of health, education, infrastructure, and that whole picture that should be designed under the agreement of free trade area in the technology sector. Because we are talking about the entrepreneur and the global market at the same times. So at this point also, I think it's important to highlight the issue that we are working with our youth mates who are in the diaspora to use the technology experience, or at least here with the youth in the diaspora have 80% of the internet that is reliable to them. So here I'm talking about exchange of experience and design, also the research, what we want to get out of it. Either it's research center, build up the management, disaster responder center, whatever we want to have in that. In terms of these businesses also, we want these small businesses to work with the population of youth who have small businesses and they are starting it. We're expecting to support these kind of local businesses from the government, from the countries itself who are there in that border. Let us don't forget the population of women who are the most affected population, and they are always a responder on the front line on this country during this hard time. During the COVID-19, they have been in the front lines, either in the civic society organization or in the clinic, who some of them were nurses, some of them who are working in a remote area, and refugee camps as well, and with the limited resources, and they are putting their life in a lot of risk and danger also without any protective. And most of them right now with the COVID and what is taking place, a lot of them are getting to a place of gender-based violence, are increasing, and they are facing a lot of harassment and violence from their partners or from the family members, and that it's just hard. So that's basically all of it. I'm about to conclude here. The trade should be done also in the globalization term and using the international market. Let me say that for us, the younger generation of the continent, the free trade area is a chance for us through the globalization and a new opportunity to lead, to be globally recognized as African youth leaders. I don't have much to say. I'm trying to see who is interested to join and come and talk, and then I'm just going to open the section for the audience interaction. Again, thank you for joining me today. My name is Mary. For the international, this is a special edition of International Youth Day 2020. This year is different because youth have been through a lot of challenges, and they were always a responder on the front line. The theme of this year, youth engagement for global action.